You know what could potentially become a very bad idea? Letting my horses make every decision for me for the whole day, which is why that's precisely what we'll be doing in today's video. That's right, my horses will be choosing who I ride, what tack I use, what we do, where we do it, and I don't get a single say. Everything is decided using labeled buckets filled with treats designed to lure the horses in, and without their knowledge, they'll be deciding their own fate. We've got Buggy, Belle, Copper, Darcy, and Mystique in the lineup today. This could either go surprisingly smoothly or completely derail my plans for the day. So let's see if this idea was a mistake. The first decision they'll be making for me today is which horse is going to be ridden, because whoever is chosen will be the one affected by all the remaining decisions. I figured I'd let my most chaotic horse, Copper, be the one to decide this. I'm really hoping he goes for Buggy or Mystique, since they're my most level-headed horses and probably the most capable of enduring whatever else is in store. Without further ado, let's release the beast and see what he goes for. Oh, Copper! Doing a victory lap around the arena was not one of the options. Now I'm really hoping he doesn't pick himself. Alright, gonna grab him, and instead of just releasing him to the wild, we're gonna give him a little preview of what's in these buckets, because apparently he would rather be a racehorse. He is very food motivated, so now that he knows there's food, this should help. Time for take 2. Okay, he's got his eyes on the prize. I like the direction he's headed. He's going toward Mystique. Let's... No! Belle, she just got clipped a couple days ago and has yet to be ridden since, which is going to be information I'm actively going to have to keep out of my head for the rest of this challenge. The next decision is the tack set, and for this one, I'm handing the responsibility over to Darcy, because if anyone here has consistently demonstrated good fashion judgment, it's her. Today's options are blue, pink, yellow, and red. I'm really hoping she chooses blue, so Belle and I can be matchy-matchy with my top. Yellow I could also live with, especially with my little gold accents going on. Pink, I'm neutral on, but red is a hard no. As long as it's not red, I'll consider this a win. Okay, Darcy, no pressure, but I am trusting you with my entire aesthetic for the rest of this video. She's thinking, she's sniffing, really soaking this in. Does she know that every bucket has the same treat in it? Oh, she's looking at blue. Okay, that's promising. Don't get distracted. Stay focused. Yes. We like that one. That's the correct it. Why is she turning? No. Are you kidding me? Red. She chose red. I specifically said anything but red, but of course. I guess we're doing red tack, which means the rest of my outfit is now completely irrelevant, and my carefully planned color coordination has officially been sabotaged. Because this is a statement. Not a particularly good one, but moving on before I have time to rethink my life choices. Next up is the activity, and honestly, who better to decide what exercise we'll be doing today than Belle herself, who is the main character of this video. The options are flat work, jumping, or hacking. Belle, your fate is officially in whatever apple you decide to stuff in your face. Now, personally, I'm low-key hoping for a nice flat work ride, something non-traumatizing. Hack could also work, but she does tend to get a little excitable out on the trails, and I'm not really in the mood for that today. Jumping, however, is the one thing I do not want. Jumping could very easily turn into a disaster, especially considering she has not been ridden since she was shaved. Okay, Belle, think carefully about this. Make a good decision. Choose peace. With that, you're released. Oh, okay, she is excited. She is very excited. That was quite the rear. A little unnecessary though. She is galloping. She is galloping with a purpose. Oh no, no, you've got to be kidding me. Of course, she very decisively chooses jumping. Why would she choose anything reasonable? Hey, absolutely not. Those are not yours. You made your decision with jumping, no takebacks. Sorry, Belle, this is a one apple situation, ma'am. You do not get to sample the entire menu. So jumping has officially been chosen against my will, and that means a lunch session beforehand is now a non-negotiable. Next up is how this little pony is gonna be ridden. And for this decision, I'm handing the power over to Buggy, which honestly feels like the safest choice out of everyone here. Buggy is a kind boy. He has a conscience. The options are full tack, bareback, or no stirrups. As I release you, Buggy, I would just like to formally request kindness. Please, I am already jumping on a crazy pony against my will. All right, you hear that, Winnie? I think we're on the same page. He's thinking. He's actually considering his options. See, this is why we like Buggy. He's not impulsive. He's just calmly evaluating the situation. And he chooses bareback. Of course he does. I really thought that Winnie meant something, man. I thought we had an understanding. Bareback it is. Bareback jumping on the freshest pony in the barn was not on my bingo card for today, but here we are. Anyways, let's have one more of my horses make the final questionable decision. Next up is where this entire messy situation is actually going to unfold, and this choice belongs to Mystique. The options are the indoor or the outdoor arena. The indoor arena is not set up with jumps at the moment, which means if she does pick the indoor, I'd be hauling standards, dragging poles, and questioning all my life choices before we even get started. So yes, I am putting my vote in for the outdoor. Not that it matters at all, but I would like it on the record that I tried. Also, it's been so rainy and cold lately, and it is finally sunny today, so it would just be the perfect day to be outdoors. Have I convinced you, Mystique? All right, here she goes. Oh, okay, yes. She's moving with purpose. She is locked in. And, finally, thank you, Mystique, for being the voice of reason today. She chose the outdoor arena, which is actually incredible news because there's already a course set, everything is in place, and for the first time today, it feels like the stars have slightly aligned. I will gladly take this win. Mystique, you have officially been promoted to my favorite horse. With all the decisions locked in and my fate officially sealed, it was time to actually commit to this idea. So I went to grab Belle. As promised, I gave her a quick lunge beforehand because jumping a freshly clipped opinionated pony bareback would be ambitious. There is no universe in which I am alive after this jumping session if I don't lunge her. And immediately she chose violence. She bucked, she spun, and she launched into the air like she was auditioning for the rodeo circuit, letting everyone know she has thoughts and feelings about today's plan. After a few minutes of getting the sillies out, I finally started to see a brain cell reconnect, so I took that as my cue to move on before she changed her mind. Now, time to tack her up. Yes, red, against my will. I was actually mentally preparing to hate it, but once it was all on, you know what? It was kind of not bad. Red and blue together, not terrible, dare I say. It also helps that there's no saddle pad in this setup, so nothing is really fighting for attention. A good fit with your horse can make anyone feel a little more hopeful. Who knows? This might actually work. The ride started off a bit rocky. I could barely get on without a mounting block as I rode her bareback, even though she's like the smallest horse I own. You know, at least if I fall off, I wouldn't be very far from the ground. Who am I kidding? Some of my worst falls have been on ponies. But I digress. I was on with my dignity, still somewhat intact. For such a chunky little pony, she has an aggressively bony back. This is uncomfortable. Like, I'm suddenly aware of every vertebrae, but it's fine, we're fine. Well, let's just jump right into jumping. And cue the chaos. In the first few attempts, Belle had opinions. Couple of refusals, a little bit of sass here and there, some very pointed, absolutely not energy. So we took it back a notch, slowed things down, reestablished some rhythm, and reminded ourselves that we do in fact know how to jump. Gradually, we started building back up one fence at a time, and somewhere along the way, something clicked. The refusals stopped, the strides started showing up, and suddenly, we entered a flow state. Wow, I am pleasantly surprised to report that I did not fall off today, despite all the evidence pointing to the fact that it would indeed happen. Maybe, just maybe, I finally broke my curse of falling off every other video. Yeah, let's not get too ahead of ourselves though. The horses made the decisions, I survived the consequences, and somehow we made it through bareback jumping on the craziest version of Belle without a medical emergency. Subscribe to join the Barn family, and if you want to see me continue making terrible ideas into reality, go ahead and watch another video while you're here.